Behind me is the 2025 BMW Z4 M40i in Thundernight metallic or purple. It's a car that I like very much. I'm blessed this week to have beautiful weather, which allows me to drive this convertible, even though we're in the beginning of October. And I know the Z4 quite well because I had the opportunity of driving this car on several occasions. I drove it during its launch back in 2019 in 6-cylinder and 4-cylinder form. I drove it with the automatic, with the manual. I even compared this car to its corporate twin, the Toyota Supra. And when I used to work at Jalopnik, I went out and said that I preferred the Z4 for a variety of reasons, which I shall explain in this video. All right, so in terms of the way this car looks, honestly, there hasn't been much that's been changed to it ever since it was released 5 years ago. It's still the love it or hate it kind of shark design, which has been kind of with the Z4 ever since the beginning. Of course, the Z4 replaced the Z3. And over time, the car got bigger, larger, heavier, but also a lot more powerful. This is the most powerful Z4 we've ever witnessed. It is the M40i, which means that it is powered by by a BMW turbocharged 6-cylinder, a 3-liter, the way God intended it. It's good for 382 horsepower and 369 foot-pounds of torque. This one has obviously some optional packages on it, like the Red M Sport brakes. It's got the adaptive M suspension, the M Sport differential. Right here, we're seeing that, yes, it is equipped with the 6-speed manual transmission, which really adds to the fun. I'll get back to that one in a few minutes. And this is obviously not a... It's not a cheap car because it's a BMW. We're talking about entry price of just over $67,000. And obviously, things keep on climbing from there depending on the options and how you spec your Z4. The one you're seeing here is a Canadian car with a sticker price that's just over $90,000 Canadian. So it's a pretty expensive convertible. It's a super fun car to drive though. I've always really loved the Z4. Very straightforward roadster interior. It is a true 2-seater with the soft top back here. There isn't much in terms of cargo space because, of course, this is not made to be practical. But you do get a decently sized trunk, which allows you to put a few grocery bags or some luggage in there to go out on a road trip. Let's have a look inside. I'm going to try to start this bad boy. All right, so manual transmission, which makes it great. Start button right here. I gotta love the sound of that. The good old sound of a BMW straight 6 kicking off. The transmission, by the way, is quite notchy. It's not as super slick as what you'll get, for instance, in an MX-5 Miata. But this has always been the case with BMW manual transmissions. They feel kind of rubberized. What I do like about this, though, is that when you're really pushing the car, when you're really putting it through its paces, because it does have 382 horsepower, this transmission works well because you really feel like you're putting the gear in. You know, you're really feeling it. And you can be kind of rough with it. You can manhandle it. I like that. Not everybody likes that. Honda does obviously slicker transmissions that are a lot more precise, but I'm okay with this. The overall layout of this dashboard is aging quite well. It hasn't changed at all since the car was released. There hasn't even been an update in terms of the infotainment system because BMW has moved on to a different generation of iDrive, where it's mostly, you know, touch operated or voice command operated. This still uses the good old rotary dial, which I personally love. I find that this generation of infotainment system is a sweet spot in BMW iDrive's evolution. Quick keys right here. I can go directly to home. I can navigate, access to my car settings right here. And everything is done very easily. It's very fluid. It responds well. The graphical interface looks good as well. And I can actually do it while driving, which I personally really like. The new system is a lot more complicated with a lot more stuff going on. Same story for the digital instrumentation. Again, this is the older BMW stuff, and I'm okay with it. What this is also telling us is that unfortunately the Z4 could be on its last leg. This could be one of the last model years for this car. So if you want one, please jump on it, because these things are a lot of fun, and they're definitely future classics. So you can go here in the display settings, and basically you can either decide to leave it stock like this or have it change depending on the drive mode. I like it that way. That way I have access to 3 different gauges when I play around with the drive modes. And that's also one of the reasons why I prefer the Z4 over the Supra, is because you actually have drive modes. The Supra only has like a sport button, whereas in this I have sport, and then in sport I can do standard plus individual. I put it on individual because I can turn off the rev matching. I'm not a big fan of that, so I did it manually. But then I can also settle for comfort mode, and then the instrument cluster is going to change accordingly. And I also have Eco Pro, which is the ultimate eco-friendly mode, which I personally find kind of useless in this car, because you're not buying a Z4 M40i for fuel economy. You're buying it for performance, and this is why I kind of always like to drive in sport mode. And there's a nice exhaust note in sport mode. I don't know if you can hear that, but it sounds terrific. Wow. Some of it is pumped in, but I don't care. I like what I'm hearing. And here on the bottom, good old volume knob. Again, this is the classic BMW stuff that I still find really useful. Physical buttons for HVAC. This little tiny digital screen here isn't aging super well, but look, it gives me the information that I need. Now, in terms of general comfort, I really like, what I've always admired about the Z4 is that it's been tailored for the North American market. It doesn't feel as squeezed or as small as in an MX-5 Miata or even in a Porsche Boxster. I'm a tall guy, I'm not slim, let's say. I sit comfortably in this car. The seats are well bolstered. I can really cruise in a Z4. I have a deflector back here that helps for wind turbulence. There's not much in terms of storage space, however. Yes, I have the glove box. I do also have this compartment right here. I don't know if you can see it. It allows me to, the cup holders are in there as well. But it's not the best solution, because once you're using the cup holders, well, you don't have your armrest anymore. So that's kind of annoying. And here in the back, there's a tiny compartment as well, but it's very small. If I open it, as you can see, there's not much going on. It's just big enough to put like a wallet, maybe, a set of keys or something. Generally speaking, the Z4 is a better car than the Supra because of the drive modes that I mentioned, but also because it's a convertible. As I'm getting older, I'm really appreciating the fact that you can drive without a roof, especially on a beautiful autumn day like today. And I figure if you're going to get the BMW engine, might as well just get the full BMW experience. And that was kind of my take when I had compared this car with the Toyota Supra. Now, roof operation is activated right here in this little switch. I just pull on it, and it's all done pretty quickly. The sequence begins right here behind me. The roof goes up, and then it's latched into place, and then the windows will raise automatically. So as you can see, that was pretty quick. And then to close it again, I just push on the toggle again, and it unlatches. And there you go. I am driving a convertible again. Now, BMW says that this roof can retract up to a speed of about 50 kilometers an hour, so about 35 miles an hour. So it's handy because you don't need to pull over on the side of the road to put the roof back on. You can do it when you're creeping up at an intersection, or even taking off in first gear. Stay in first gear, try not to accelerate too fast, close the door, close the roof, and you're ready to hit the road again. So there you have it. That's pretty much it. There isn't much more that I can talk to you about this car, except for the fact that it's really fun to drive. It sounds great, handles well, it puts the power down, and it is properly fast. Like, you really need to check out your speedometer, because you can easily lose your license in this car. So there you have it. There's a full review, of course, on topspeed.com. Go ahead and read it, and don't forget to subscribe.